Remember God, He fights for me. I will always be free. Hallelujah. Oops. Okay, so let me check the sounds real quick and make sure that my sound settings are good. They've been turned down here. Let me make sure they're not down here. Okay, so sounds are sounds. Okay, let me see here. Got one person checking in so far, waiting for anybody else to check in. Check in, check in, check in. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? I wasn't going to do a live stream, but I realized after I did the video that I am tired, but I am not going to sleep yet, because if I go to sleep now, I'll be awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and who wants to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning? So you guys see what's going on down there in Los Angeles? Lots of protests going on. Oh my goodness. They're protesting all the government buildings and everything else. You know, I can understand a protest for legal immigrants being kicked out, but not for illegal ones. I mean, come on. I was talking to some Mexican people at the flea market today, and they're all for kicking out the illegals. They say legally they could get legal jobs without the illegals taking the jobs. Think about that one. So yeah, a lot of legal immigrants want the illegal immigrants gone. So whose side do you stand on? Let me see here. If you're in my country illegally, it's time to pack your suitcase and go home. Come back when you can get yourself legal. That's how I feel. Hey Juby Joe, how are you doing? So for those of you who didn't know, I started a fundraiser today. I'm going to give you all the link to it in the chat room. For a price of a cup of coffee, you can help me out. This is it. Okay, so there it is. So yeah, I started a fundraiser today. I went to the flea market. I was there from 6:30 this afternoon. I didn't get home until after 4. I got to deal with the sun and all the beautiful sun. I think my face is red now. Yeah, I think I actually got a suntan. So that means, yay, I get to get darker. Not, but I get to get a lot darker than I've been. You see lots there in Canada that shouldn't be there? Yeah, I hear ya. You know, there are good Mexican people. There are good people that are immigrants from other countries. And you don't see them breaking the law to be in this country. They got their citizenship. They got their paperwork. They've made themselves legal. What I don't understand is the protests over kicking out illegal immigrants. You know, they're, to be honest, and, you know, everybody says, but they pay taxes. Okay, so what? They pay taxes. You know what? If I go to your country and I'm there illegally and I am paying taxes to your country, first off, that wouldn't happen. Second off, I wouldn't be allowed in somebody else's country illegally. So if you think about it, why would we be allowing illegal immigrants in our country? It's just, you know, it's just the way it is. And I don't understand it. And I just think that, you know, I am a lover of people. But if you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here. And if you snuck across the border to get into this country, go back out and come back in legally. I mean, weren't they offering one-way trip tickets back to your country so that you can go and straighten your stuff out? The only thing that I don't agree with that I've seen in the news lately is the fact that there are immigrants who are actually showing up for court dates for their citizenship, for their paperwork and stuff, and they're being arrested and being deported. That I don't agree with, because if you have a court date to come into court to get yourself squared away and get yourself legal, that I don't agree with. I don't agree with that. I agree only with the fact if you're not making any effort to try to be a legal immigrant. So anyways, how was y'all's day? Between having fun with the sun and everything else, you got hit with a killer storm about an hour ago and you saw tree leaves blowing in the wind and your cats and you just held on. Oh, that sounds like a scary time. Let's see what the weather looks like. Get over here. I'm still trying to get used to this setup. Okay, so you guys know I do not own this computer, so there is a lot of things I can't have. Like I tried to get what do you call it? Walton 3D, Earthquake 3D on this computer. I could not install it because I do not own this computer yet. When I do own it, then I will be able to install everything I want on it. But for now, it is a leased computer, and I have to go along with the program of everything is leased and I don't own it. So I can't make any changes. I can't delete anything. I can't get rid of anything. Sucks. Okay, so anyways, let's see what's going on here. Let's go to Tornado HQ. Tornado tracker. Okay, so it looks like we got some storm stuff here too. Well, we do. Let's see here. North Carolina has a severe storm warning in Pender. That ends in 26 minutes. I don't know where Pender is. Pender is up above me. So let's see here. There's a tornado warning over here near Evansville, Indiana. Okay, so Pender is here. I'm right here, so it's above me in this storm area here. And then there's several severe storms over here on the coast, along with boating warnings, so for special marine warnings. New Mexico near Union has a severe thunderstorm. Georgia has a severe thunderstorm warning that ends in 11 minutes. That's Banks, Dawson, Hall, Lumpkin, and White. And then you have 41 minutes from now with Georgia, Barrow, Clark, Gwinnett, Jackson, Madison, Morgan, Oconee, Oglethorpe, and Walton. So right now, your area looks good for right this minute, Juby. Except you're going to have all this mess coming through. Well, actually, you have that mess coming through. Oops. So let's see here. Yeah, you still in the middle of the storm stuff, aren't you? Well, hold on, Juby, hold on. Don't let it suck you away. So did I miss any earthquakes for today? You know what I didn't look at? Let's look at the weather real quick. See where these hurricanes are going. Still nothing over here, which is good. We got 3 over here now. Whoa. Okay, so this one has a 30% chance of a cyclone formation in 7 days. This one here is still at 90%, and this one here is at 80%. Like I showed yesterday, this one here will disappear as they both move up this area. And this one probably will disappear as well because it's got a 0% chance for the next 48 hours. So I wouldn't worry too much about these. And nothing out in the Central Pacific. Let's check Oregon Live earthquake map. See what's going on in this 90 states. I think that's yesterday. Nope, that's the day before yesterday. Ooh, what's this one? That was from the 5th. We already saw that one. Not too much new over here on the East Coast. That one's the 5th. That one's the 5th. Still got a little swarm going on over here. San Antonio area. This area over here is having earthquakes. That was today. 1.7, 16 kilometers south of Kingsbury, Texas. That was yesterday at 2.69 kilometers east of Pearsall, Texas. And that one was yesterday too. 18 kilometers northeast of Titan, Texas. It was a 2.2. So, still looks like we got stuff going on over here in Arkansas. That's just a few days ago. That's today, a 1.7. And that was the 6th. Okay, so what we got in the way of news? Anything interesting? There's been an egg recall over salmonella. Warning spans across 9 states. Okay, so let's see here. Almost 2 million eggs have been recalled in the United States over concerns of salmonella contamination. So they're going to start this again. All right. The recall announced on Friday by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration affects products distributed in 9 states and associated with various grocery store chains. According to the FDA, California-based August egg company Hilmer is recalling 1,700,000 dozen brown cage-free and brown certified organic eggs due to potential contamination. The eggs were distributed from February 3rd through May 15th, with sell-by dates from March to June 4th. Well, it's past the 4th, so I guess those eggs should have already been used. I mean, you know, people would already be having used them. Anyways, that's within California and Nevada. The products were distributed at locations including Save Mart, Food Max, Lucky, Smart and Final, Safeway, Raley's, Food for Less, and Ralph's. I think we have a Safeway here in North Carolina. Eggs were also distributed from February 3rd to May 6th, with sell-by dates from March 4th to June 9th to Walmart locations in California, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, Wyoming, New Mexico, Nebraska, Illinois, and Indiana. The recalled eggs will have a plant code P6562 or CA5330 printed on the carton or package with Julian dates between 32 and 126. The recalled retail egg will be in fiber or plastic cartons with the above code printed on one side of the carton. Salmonella can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children. You know, not a lot of little kids like eggs, and we kind of force them to eat them. It can cause fatal infections in young children, the frail or elderly, and others with weakened immune systems. Healthy persons infected with salmonella often experience fever, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and even bloody diarrhea. In rare circumstances, infections with salmonella can result in more severe illness. Wow. So, guys, stay away from the eggs. In other words, get out of the eggs again. Okay, so Juby Joe says we are in the 80s and humid and no airflow, and during the storm front, temperatures dropped over 10 degrees. So, at least you're having rain right now. I mean, we were supposed to be seeing storms today, but you know what? All I've seen is darkened clouds and no rain. And then we've had those fires the last few days, so it would be nice to see some kind of rain. Richard said it was raining there most of today. Oh, I'm over here humming, you guys. I'm singing that song, Hallelujah. It goes, you're the God who fights for me, hallelujah. Because, you know, whenever I get into one of those moods, like when things are going bad, I do sing a lot of Christian songs. I don't know. Maybe it's a way of staying calm. You were sweating pulling weeds? In less than an hour it got cold. Well, this morning it was nice and cold. When I went out to the flea market, it was nice and cold out. And I didn't take a jacket with me. But by the time I left, it was about 93 degrees. I mean, if you look here, let's see here. What is it now? 92. It's still 92 out. feels like 99 degrees. It was hot out. I was melting. You're the God who fights for me. Hallelujah. It's a good song. It's been stuck in my head ever since I heard it earlier. I don't know. How do you get a song out of your head? Ooh, only way to get it out is to actually sing it. So let's see here. Earthquake-wise, for today, we've had quite a few fives. So there's been a 5.1 in the Caribbean Sea. There's been a 5.0 Eastern New Guinea region, Papua New Guinea. 5.0 in Kyrgyzstan. A 5.5 Mid-Indian Ridge. A 5.5 the Drake Passage. And a 5.1 Aegean Sea. Thank goodness we haven't seen any sixes. We saw a 6 yesterday. And that one was a 6.5 in Atacama, Chile. But that one for Yunnan, China. Got to say that the right way. China. Okay, so let me see here. There's been 4s today. Quite a lot of 4s. Anything abnormal? This is where today ends, the Caribbean Sea. Lake Baikal, Russia region had a 4.0. The Aleutian Islands had a 4.3. That's what's going on with California. Let's see here. Yeah, I gotta reset all of my stuff. Because everything, let me see, can't use Mexico. Let me see, California, 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 California. That's Oregon. Why is Newberry, Caldera area in Oregon listed with California? Who knows? Who knows? Things are just strange today. Once I get these in here, they should be set though. How has today been? Well, if we go back to 525, it shows the last 4s. Let me see here. So let me see here, the 7th. Oh my goodness, today there's been a 2.1, a 2.2, a 2.2, a 2.6, a 2.4, a 2.5, 2.3, and a 2.3. But there was also a -1, which means that is at or above ground level, or sea level, sorry. So it's -1, so it's below sea level. And the deepest one was 17 kilometers deep when, whoa, there was a 23-kilometer deep one yesterday. Okay, so you guys know the depth usually runs about 16, but 23 is considered deep for California. There was a -0 yesterday, too. Wow. You guys, if California goes a-rockin', get yourself some protection and get safe. Because I'm looking at this and these ones are deepies. According for California. Not for anywhere else. I mean, if you look, you'll see most of them run about 12. But when you're seeing 23 and 24, 34, oh my goodness. Okay. Those are deep concerning California. If you're like looking at other areas in the world, there's different depths considering the, I'm going to call it, and I'm tired so I may get it wrong, the asthenosphere. The area of Earth in between the top of the Earth. Let me see here. My brain is broken, you guys. Okay, so earth, mantle, crust. Okay, so it goes like this. You have the asthenosphere. This is the top level asthenosphere, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. Okay, so it shows it this way. This is the crust here. So what I'm talking about is coming down to here. But when we're looking at California, California would be like this, okay? So that's because there's magma underneath the plate. And it is a lot more shallower, also because of liquefaction. Hello, George. Nice to see you, George. Nice to see you here, George. Nice to see you here, Juby. Nice to see you here, Richard. Nice to see everybody who is here. I appreciate you being here. I am sorry, but I am tired, so if I'm not making any sense, just consider it as a gibberish chat. Oh, Lord. You're poop, too. A violin uke? Is it like a ukulele? When I was little, I could play a ukulele. So what else? Let's see here. Since I'm looking up new stuff. New stuff. Scientists warn underwater volcano about to erupt and spew tons of lava. That would probably be off of California, right? Right? Let me see. We're probably looking, yeah, the axial seamount, about 300 miles off the Juan de Fuca Ridge. So let's go to where the axial seamount is. The axial seamount is right here. This is the axial seamount. So, the axial seamount, about 300 miles off the Juan de Fuca Ridge, is considered the most active volcano in the Pacific Northwest. Scientists are closely monitoring the volcano using high-definition camera placed at its summit, allowing anyone to witness the eruption in real time when it happens. Well, I'm going to have to find that link. The HD video focuses on a 14-foot wall actively venting hot spring deposit called Mushroom, located within the Ashes vent field on the western side of the axial seamount. The Ocean Observations Initiative said in a statement, the volcano last erupted in 2015, triggering a swarm of around 8,000 earthquakes. That eruption also produced a large lava flow and caused the sea floor to collapse by over 2 meters or 6.5 feet. Volcanologist Bill Chadwick told them it's at or almost at that inflation threshold where it erupted last time, so we think it's ready. According to Chadwick, an eruption could happen anytime now with the potential to release significant amounts of lava and seismic activity beneath the ocean surface. So, interesting. But you know what? I want to know where you go to look for this camera. I want to see something. Camera for axial seamount. Oh, I found it. Oh, did I found it? I'm going to give you guys a link to it. Y'all can go here to this site and look it up for yourselves. I do not own the rights to it, so I am not going to show it. There you go. Ha! Did not know that there was one. Now that's cool. All right, so let me see here. There's a thing where it says open streaming video. This link will download an M3U8 playlist file that can be opened by VLC. There's video access where you can preview, then choose which video you would like to access on Data Explorer. There's video archive, and there's time-lapse videos. Well, that's really cool. So that's something to keep an eye on. Heh. Let me post that over there in Facebook. Facebook. Okay, so anyways, now y'all have that little piece of information. War pipes. You're working on building your own bagpipes? Well, that sounds interesting. So I traded something at the flea market today. And so yeah, I got something interesting. I made a trade. I got a professional digital voice recorder, and my daughter told me it's old, and I told her it's cool. It has a radio on it, and you can voice record and play songs. So I thought, well, it's interesting, and I traded something for it. So I did like a barter system. I was like, I like that. And that person said, I like that thing on your table. I said, okay, good, we'll trade. And so I got something interesting. And then I got home and I was all excited about it. Told my daughter and she's like, it's old. She goes, Mom. She goes, you got something old. Okay, anyway. Hey, what's the coaxial C-mount? There's a coaxial? So there's the axial and then there's a coaxial. So this one erupted in June of 1993. That's interesting. We already know this one erupted already. Then you see the lava rafts come ashore. So we can see how far off of land this is. It's here. Land is over here. It shouldn't affect anything. Let's just hope that the Wanda Fuka doesn't say, oh yeah, watch this. It's 102 outside of your place right now. That's too hot for me. It's too hot to handle. So yeah, I've had one of those days. I'll tell you what. I think my face is sunburnt. If I say think, I think my face is sunburnt. Guys, I am not a hot weather person. I need cold air. Oh, I'm so tired, you guys. I'm bushed. So what else we gonna talk about? Let's see here. What else we got for the news? Gotta check in the news. Oh, maybe I should close that news first, right? No, I won't, cause I just won't. That's why. Okay. And massive solar flares are disrupting more than cell phones. Solar flares are powerful eruptions of energy from the sun's surface, often compared to explosive force. Oh, wait, where did you go? Explosive force of millions of nuclear bombs going off at once. These bursts are caused by sudden changes in the sun's magnetic field, which release energy in the form of radiation. NASA categorizes solar flares as A, B, C, M, and X classes, with X classes representing the most intense. Since the start of the solar cycle 25 in December 2019, the sun's activity has steadily increased and experts predict the activity will reach its peak in 2025. Solar observatories have already recorded a surge in both the frequency and intensity of these flares throughout 2024. This uptick in solar activity means the disruptions are not just possible, they're expected, and they are already being documented in real time. The escalation in solar flares is pushing scientists and governments to re-examine how vulnerable our modern technological society is to these common events. Whoa. The effects of strong solar flares on communication networks has become impossible to ignore in 2024. On March 29th, a potent X 1.0 class solar flare caused widespread radio blackouts throughout the Pacific, temporarily cutting off aviation and maritime communications. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration confirmed that high-frequency radio signals used by pilots and ships were severely hampered for several hours. These events aren't just technical glitches, they can delay flights, disrupt logistics, and hinder rescue operations. In April of 2024, emergency communication centers in Australia and New Zealand reported significant signal losses tied directly to ongoing solar activity. As the backbone of global connectivity, satellite and ground-based communication infrastructure face increasing pressure to adapt. The urgency to create more robust solar resilient systems is greater than ever, with industry leaders now accelerating investment in shielding and redundant pathways. Cool. You're coughing again. Well, cough the coughing for me. Okay, so America's deepest lake sits inside a collapsed volcano that erupted 7,700 years ago. Which one is that? Mount Mazama once stood 12,000 feet tall in Oregon's Cascade Mountains. Then, 7,700 years ago, a massive eruption emptied its magma chamber. The mountain collapsed inward, creating a huge basin 8 by 10 kilometers across the over 1 kilometer deep. Rain and snow gradually filled this depression, forming Crater Lake, the deepest lake in America. Let's go find Crater Lake. So, Crater Lake is the deepest lake in America. Got it. Let's go to Crater Lake. Well, where is it? Uh-oh. We'll go to that one. So, this used to be a big, huge volcano. This is Crater Lake. So we can see wow. So the last eruption was 7,500 years ago. And we're worried about what? The eruption that destroyed Mount Mazama released 42 times more energy than Mount St. Helens in 1980. A massive ash cloud shot 30 miles upward. Meanwhile, deadly flows of hot gas, ash, and rock raced down the mountainsides at hurricane speeds. These pyroclastic flows traveled 35 miles from the volcano. After the underground chamber emptied, the mountain's top fell inward, leaving behind a massive depression we see today. So, this is actually the volcano inverted with water on top. Got it. Crater Lake has no rivers flowing in or out. All its water comes directly from rain and snow. This slow process took 720 years to fill the caldera to its current depth. The lake maintains a natural balance. New precipitation replaces water lost through evaporation and seepage. This cycle completely refreshes the lake every 150 years. Despite this exchange, the water level rarely changes more than 3 feet per year. 3 feet year to year. Well, that's cool. Crater Lake plunges 1,949 feet down, making it the deepest lake in the United States and the ninth deepest worldwide. Its average depth of 1,148 feet make it the deepest lake in the Western Hemisphere by average depth. Scientists measure its clarity using a white disk, In 1997, they could see the disk 142 feet underwater, a record for the lake. The basin holds 4.9 trillion gallons of water, maintaining both stable temperature and exceptional clarity. Crater Lake's intense blue happens because pure water absorbs red and yellow light while reflecting blue back to our eyes. With no river bringing in sediment or plant material, the water stays exceptionally clear. Ultraviolet light penetrates deep because the lake lacks dissolved plant matter that normally blocks these rays. Few microscopic plants live in the upper waters, further enhancing the vivid blue color. That's cool. And then you got Wizard Island, which is over here. This is Wizard Island. After Mount Mazama collapsed, lava pushed through the cracks of the caldera floor, building a cone-shaped peak now called Wizard Island. This mini volcano rises 316 acres above the water, resembling a wizard's hat. At the top sits a 90-meter wide crater. What visitors see is just the tip. Most of Wizard Island extends underwater all the way to the lake bottom thousands of feet below. So here's the little crater in the top right here. That's cool. So that's a mini volcano, you guys. And it is also considered a sacred lake. The Klamath tribes call the lake Gaiwas, meaning sacred place. Their oral histories describe witnessing Mount Mazama collapse with details matching geological findings. One story tells of how a battle between two spirits, Leo from the underworld and Skel from the sky, caused the mountain to collapse. Archaeologists found a sagebrush bark sandal beneath the volcanic ash, proving humans were present when the mountain exploded. In late 1980s, scientists in the small submarine discovered hot springs in the lake floor. These vents create blue pools reaching 66 degrees Fahrenheit, much warmer than the surrounding water. Bacterial mats up to 60 feet long grow near these springs, thriving in the warm, mineral-rich environment. This activity shows Mount Mazama isn't dead, it's merely dormant, and one day the volcano may erupt again. Okay, since at least 1896, a 30-foot hemlock log has floated completely upright in Crater Lake. This old man of the lake stands 4 feet above the water with 26 feet below the surface. The cold, pure water has preserved the wood for over a century. While appearing stationary, the log moves with the winds and currents. In 1938, a park naturalist tracked it, traveling 62 miles in just 3 months. That's interesting. Then this has also been a place for gold prospectors, and there's also been this lake is famous. Okay, so that's what I got for you. Isn't that cool? So this is a volcano that may erupt again, and it is the deepest lake in the United States. And it's nice to know that Wizard Island here is a volcano. It's a mini volcano. But it stretches all the way down to the seafloor. Alright, you guys, that's what I got for you all for now. You broke out a bottle of antibiotics today. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better. Richard, I hope your arthritis will get better. Yeah, you guys, I will be back maybe tomorrow. I'll do another live stream. And give y'all some more information and stuff. It's always cool finding new things. You know, a dust storm the size of 48 U.S. states is seen making its way to Florida from space. Yeah, well, that's what's keeping us on the East Coast from having hurricanes right now, which is fine with me. All right, you guys, I love you. Please remember to tell someone you love them. Tomorrow is never promised. If you can help out on my fundraiser, $2, that would be great. If you want to help through PayPal, that would be great. However, I did post the fundraiser, and then I'll post it one more time. I also put it on my community wall. And if you want to help, that would really, really help me out. I don't need any more stress in my life right now. I've got plenty. But it was fun to go out to the flea market. It was fun to do something. It was fun to get away from the house. I might try to make it a habit. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I'll make it a habit, but I was been spending my Saturdays out at the flea market, cleaning out my house. But can't really make very much because it's not like that. I mean, well, my daughter did good, but, you know, I don't have the younger stuff like the kids do these days with the video games and stuff like that. Anyways, you guys, I love you. Please remember to tell someone you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. Make each day an adventure. Step away from your laptops, your computers, and hold conversations with your friends, your neighbors, and your family. That way you can see how they are doing and keep those communication skills sharp. Did I get any fleas at the flea market? No, George, but I did stumble across a bumblebee. Huh. Anyways, I love you guys, and I am going to take a relax now. It is 7 o'clock at night. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Much love. Oops, didn't need that open.